Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Glamour. Grit. Welcome back to the Glamour and Grit. It is episode 1,000,000.
Today feels like extra episode length.
They're not going to want to listen to us anymore because I think we started to say that almost every episode, being like, we're so tired.
No, but
there's so much going on.
It's crazy. It's just there's so much happening right now.
It's good. Besides your face being completely bare, like a baby's bottom.
I do feel like a child right now. It's the first time I've completely shaven in, I don't even know the last time.
Yeah, it looks really good though. You just look so young. I look so old.
I don't know about that, but I do look like a child.
Special.
I do look like a child. I feel like one too. But when duty calls, you got to do it.
Amen. Isn't that the truth? Literally, Eric, I just walked in from a food tasting. Like, there are no words.
For what?
I'm doing the TCU Fine Arts Gala. And TCU is catering. So we had like our taster testing.
They let you even choose the food?
Yes.
And like taste it?
Eric.
Like a wedding?
Like a wedding. Chef Rowe. Y'all, I have no words. Like, actually, and you know me, I'm the world's pickiest eater. This was the best food I've ever had. Like, I'm not even kidding. In my entire life, are you ready to hear all that I've had?
Yes.
I had a stuffed quail. I had filet. I had a short rib. I had a chicken with sun-dried tomatoes and angel food pasta.
Well, who's this chef? Give him a shout out.
Chef Rowe.
From what restaurant?
TCU. It's a TCU catering.
Wow.
Eric. Like,
them private schools know how to do it.
I am not even kidding. And I'm like not even saying this because we have chosen them to cater. It was the best food I've ever had in my entire life. My life.
I have to ask because it just seems so like, it doesn't seem like something you get to do ever. Like, you get to taste the food that is going to be at a gala or an event that you're throwing?
Yeah, you do if you're chairing it most of the time.
Really?
Like, I got to do it for putting on the pink.
Oh, wow.
Most of the time, you get to, like, taste everything.
Was anything, like, do you ever be like, eh?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But, like, not today.
Wow.
Like, No, Eric, I'm not even kidding.
That's why you were late to today's recording.
No, I was literally 20
feasting at
and
TCU.
I'm having a cocktail.
Oh, my gosh. I can't talk about...
It is a Friday morning but I am having, and they, like, did specialty cocktails. Like, I am shooketh. Like, I have a food baby right now. I had a chocolate cake, a tiramisu, like, angel food with fruit. I had a chocolate mousse. I had so TCU Catering, Chef Rowe, I am sorry. That is where it's at. It is the best food I've ever had.
I can't even look at that cocktail right now. This is really making me nauseous.
It's so delish.
Went to Creed last night at Dickie's with the boys, your brothers, and our friends, and Three Doors Down opened for them, and we had the time of our life.
Was it so fun?
I could probably name on one hand the amount of times your two brothers and I got to just have a night together.
Yeah.
Without other family.
Well, and especially both of them. I feel like you get to have nights like individually with them.
Absolutely.
But to like have just the boys.
But the Three Musketeers got together last night for the first time in a long time. And let me tell you, fun was had.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
But I'm hurting right now.
Oh, y'all.
It is what it is. We had the time of our life. But, for a second in time, no children.
I know.
No wives. It was just...
You were just like 3 doors down.
We were like 3 doors down. And Jared, my friend Jared, who's plays... he's Co-Wetzel's drummer. He was with us last night.
He is the drummer.
And he's really good friends with the bassist of Three Doors Down. So I got to go backstage. I didn't even tell you this stuff yet. I got to go back, meet him, hang out. Then he hung out with us in the suite all night.
What is your life?
It was really
Did you
cool.
Sometimes I feel, and I might be wrong.
Kryptonite. Such a good
I
song.
hate myself.
So
What's that song? Kryptonite. Both of us are so bad at this.
The song thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. What was I saying now? Gosh,
I don't know,
I
but
forgot.
Creed took me higher last night.
Can you take me higher?
But I'll say this.
Yeah.
We were so excited. We went to Joe T. Garcia's before, our favorite Mexican restaurant. Margaritas. We're excited. Three Doors Down, smashed. Creed, the act of the night. we didn't know a damn song they played until the final like 20 minutes.
Yeah, isn't Creed? Are they kind of the ones with the funnier voices?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how to
was
do
like,
it.
I
but
always just remember like Jake and
it's
Charlie
like
doing
classic
like that.
late 90s.
100%.
But all the classic songs
But I'm actually shocked Three Doors Down is open. Three Doors Down is
they
like
could be headlining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
like they're iconic.
they're technically calling it like a concert.
Okay, that's what I would think much more.
But Creed came on last, so in my mind,
Yeah.
that's
Well, they're older, aren't they?
yeah. But the new songs, it was
They don't smash like they
it was
used to.
disappointing. But
No.
the final 20 minutes,
Why does it? Okay, I get it, artists. Like I get that you always want to play your new stuff, but nobody's there for the new stuff.
no.
So I guess that they know that we're already there. They might as well play it, but nobody wants to hear it.
Justin Timberlake did it perfectly because he would play a new song and then a song we all know right after.
The
and then
best
a new
way to do
song
it.
and then a song we all
I
know.
don't want to wait for your like one huge hit
I know.
as the last song.
I know.
It's nothing more annoying. Or if you have the balls to not play your top song.
That's really not okay.
It's like the people that don't thank like the people that got them there. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Or like the shows that like they don't want to be remembered from like a reality show or don't want. But it's like, baby doll, that's what got you there.
It was really cool though because the fan base is older
Mm-hmm.
and looking down in the pit, there was no phones out. Everyone was in the moment, taking it
Oh,
in.
that's
like,
really
it's not a
cool.
bunch of young kids with their phones
I
out, which
know.
is like every other concert. I'd never seen less phones at a concert in my life.
And why do we do that? Like, there's usually 155 videos that I'll never, ever, ever watch again.
Ever.
No, and my kids don't want, like, who am I saving it for?
I don't know. I do it too.
And it's like, if I'm actually going to look something up, I'm going to YouTube it.
Absolutely. I have so many random videos. There's a great meme out there. It's like, you know, my mom has 12 pictures of me from my first like 8 years of life. I have 1,200 pictures of my child from the first 8 seconds of the day.
It's so true.
It's insane.
And I never look at them. Actually, sometimes, especially like if I get a little emotional at nighttime.
But now Momo,
I
like,
start.
she likes to go through them.
She does like to go through them.
Daddy, show me when I was little. Show me, like, she asks for like certain periods of her life for like things that we did, and she loves to look at them. So that like is kind of cool.
I know. And she always loves to claim that she's from California.
She is.
I know. She told Mickey, and Mickey was like, I'm from California. And Mom was like, no, you aren't. You're from Texas.
She's right.
I'm from California.
It is kind of cool.
I think she's probably the only person super proud to say she's from California. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But since we gotten like, you know, we got the Daily Mail article about us that we're a California couple that moved to Texas. And now I just had an alert the other day from some Texas news site, and it was like another California couple. And I didn't even click on it because I was so nervous it was going to be us again.
It might have been. Do you know, driving here from our house today, speaking of California and Texas, we don't live far from this studio. Twice on my way here, two different cars were aggressively honking. And you never hear that here.
No, we don't honk in Texas. That's
I
like a big thing.
Love the fact that there's so much respect on the roads here. And I mean, everywhere, but like in the roads, because coming from New York and LA, you've never experienced that.
Yeah, you just honk to honk.
And twice I heard honking aggressively. And I was so upset.
Now, do you understand? So when we first moved here, Eric would honk. And I was like, Eric, I have to change cars. Like, I would rather die than be caught honking, especially, and it's always in my car. It's never in your car.
I was a big honker, but that's just from years of.
But now, do you get it? Like,
Oh,
now it's like.
Now it like upsets me.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, I almost rolled down my window to be like,
Excuse
we
you.
don't do that here.
Yeah. Well, and I think people get nervous to do that because of like, you know, lightning, hear the thunder, pew, pew, pew.
Oh, well, anyone out there, don't honk.
No, we don't honk. That's just rude.
And it wasn't like a justified. Like, if somebody's going to crash into you, yeah, throw the honk on. But not if we're all at a red light and like.
Yeah, but if like somebody's going to crash into you, it's either the crash has happened or like you're almost there.
Don't just honk to honk.
Yeah, honkers.
It's not attractive.
What a honk. What a honk of shit.
What a honk of shit.
Oh my God. I literally was next to, okay, Eric, I need to tell you about one of the co-chairs that we are doing this with. Her name is Michelle Marlowe.
What is it benefiting the TCU thing?
Fine arts.
Oh, for the fine arts.
Yes.
Oh,
And
aren't
it's
I
like,
involved in that?
yeah, you're actually one of the chairs too.
I didn't get an invite to the feast today.
No, Eric, and I'm so sorry because you actually would have died. But Michelle Marlowe is one of the most beautiful humans.
What a great name.
Right? Alliteration, you know what?
Yeah.
She has perfect hair, perfect nose. She has 4 sons. She literally speaks like this, like quiet, the kindest. Like she walks in a room, like everybody quiets down because she's so beautiful and kind. Like there's nobody like her. I've never actually met somebody as like graceful and beautiful and kind
And what does she do?
amazing. Oh my God, she's written children's books. She was
Like
a
she's
speech
involved with
pathologist.
TCU or?
Yeah, it's just very involved in society, like not society, but
I'm sorry,
in
but I think I
charitable.
missed the.
She's one of the chairs with us.
Oh, okay.
Very involved in charities, in digital charity. I mean, she's one of the most unbelievable women. Written, I think, like 12 books. Like, she's unbelievable.
I haven't even read 12 books. Jeez.
I know, she's amazing. Where was I going now with that?
I have no idea.
So it's so funny. You have so my mom couldn't come today, and it's just Michelle and I. I love her so much. We are like
Your sister-in-law, Michelle?
No, Michelle Marlowe.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my Lanta.
Creed is still bounding in my ears.
She is just like so soft-spoken and kind and beautiful and like the definition of like an elegant woman.
Just like you.
Yeah, and then there's me next to her. But I think I make her giggle and she makes me giggle. I always do well with people like that because it's like our personalities even each other out. Like I need way more of her in my life because she like makes me not near as loud as I already am. But she's just so special. I love special people. I really do. Like, I'm so grateful for the people.
I hope Michelle Marlowe listens to this episode because you've just graced this woman in such a wonderful way.
Well, and you know who it is. If you see her, you know exactly. Oh, we saw her at, oh gosh, what a week. I'm going to say it again.
Wait. Finish your other thought.
We saw her at the Cowgirl induction luncheon. Remember? She was the beautiful lady we were talking to.
Do you know there was how many thousand women
at that
event?
I know. How incredible was that event, though?
It was really, really cool. We went to the induction of the Cowgirl Hall of Fame a couple nights ago.
Eric,
Sainty was awarded at it
literally
last
not
year.
yesterday, but the day before.
Oh, it feels like 2 weeks already.
I know.
And let me tell you how impressed I am. Well, first of all, to see these incredibly badass women get inducted in the Cowgirl Hall of Fame who have truly changed the world in their own unique ways. It's just so special. It throws an amazing event, and it's all benefiting the Cowgirl Museum, which is here in Fort Worth, that Sainty's now on the board of.
Well, and truly, it's the Hall of Fame. The Cowgirl, it's inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right, but we've got this amazing place that people can go and visit to experience it at the Cowgirl Museum. And it really is such a special place.
Oh my God. I mean, just think like Annie Oakley and the Chadas who we talk about as one of our sponsors with the Cowgirl Museum, like Spanish heritage, these women that like ride sides. I mean, it's so cool. It really is an unbelievable. Okay, can I tell you what's like kind of sick of me? And like not to make it about me, but like make it about me.
What?
Okay, when you go to things like that, like I always think about what they're going to put when I'm inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you're just assuming you're going to be inducted.
I really want to be, though. So I just giggle like what they would play up there for me.
I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll put up Nova Swift from Trolls and be like, somehow this woman has made it into the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. You might know her from these TV shows. And let's call it a day.
All my charitable work, then my Christmas stockings. And like, it's so funny, but I am such a cowgirl. It's just, this is what we're bringing. I think people assume cowgirl is just like somebody that works on a ranch, and that's not true.
Define it. Give us, like, there's a
what I think a cowgirl,
behind it.
Yes, I think it truly is. Some people, they would call it like a boss babe. But for me, I feel like a cowgirl is like, they handle their family, they get stuff done. They are the strength behind their family. They are.
And rooted in Southern culture and
Southern
Western
culture.
history. Yeah.
Yes.
It really is really cool. Really, really cool.
That was like really special.
I love that.
I really actually cannot get over how much I've eaten today. Eric, you would be baffled. What was the movie, or wasn't it Chris Farley in Austin Powers?
He was not. He died before Austin Powers, unfortunately.
Oh my God. No, I'm thinking Mike Myers
Mike
when he
Myers.
plays.
Fat bastard.
I am so sorry, Chris.
I've got a crop on deck that could choke a donkey.
That is me right now. I have never, you would have been baffled the shit that was going inside my mouth. I mean, I was inhaling food.
That's great.
I have never been like that.
That's how I eat every meal.
My beautiful Michelle Marlowe's looking at me and she's probably like, you banshee. What are you doing? I
Welcome
couldn't
to
help
the
myself.
Other side.
It was I mean, I just have never in my life.
Kind of cool. Got a couple strangers came up to me at the show last night, and I always just assume it's going to be for 1883, and it was for the Glamour and Grit.
Are you kidding?
No.
Thank you, friends.
No.
Oh, just always assuming it's 1883. Okay.
Well, yeah, especially at like Dickies Arena. Like,
honey, not with that face that you're showing right now. No one would know you from.
You wouldn't know me from anything
Ada.
right now, but no, it was for G&G podcast.
Let's go, G&G. I'm actually nervous about season 3. Have you thought about season 3 yet?
No,
I have.
I take things day by day.
I know because
you
our
are
guests
way ahead of like. Let's focus on the now.
I know, but our guests this season have like actually been insanity, and they're gonna keep being more insane. Like I can't believe even more some of these guests that are coming up.
It's gonna be very fun.
It's wild. Well, we had an interview yesterday. We're not gonna hint at it, but there's a almost 12-hour time difference. And so Eric and I are doing this interview in the morning, and they're late at night.
Our guests are across the world. And
literally across the world.
they were about to go to bed, and we were just waking up.
And it was one of my favorite interviews ever.
Well, it was fun because they're husband and wife.
Yeah,
like,
so I think
the dynamic and their dynamic is very similar to our dynamic, but she's the me and he was the you.
Yes.
So it was a blast.
It was so, I actually
Is that going to be Mondays or?
No.
Okay.
The ones Mondays is also one of my favorite people on this entire earth.
Always.
And this year, especially the guests this year are people that I truly adore. I still can't believe that they're on the show.
Did we talk about, wait, you leave for New York. When are you guys going to New York?
Thanksgiving.
Like the day before?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So are you? Are you just saying this so you could tell people that you're going to Spain?
No, but I'm like, we haven't really, are you going to see shows? Like,
no, I'm going to have the kids.
They are ready for a Broadway show.
Mick's not allowed to. And I'm not going to take them to their first Broadway show without you.
Oh, babe.
That's just mean. I would never.
You're not going to take him to a Broadway show?
No. And Mick's not allowed. You have to be 4 and above.
Okay, but 4-year-olds don't have IDs. Just say he's 4. He's huge.
I know, but it's
Take him to Lion King.
No, I can't. I will not do that without you there. I just can't. It's like one of those
But
moments
honey,
where
you might go 3 more times that I possibly might not be there.
Well, that's fine. And they can wait 3 more times to see a
No,
Broadway show.
get my daughter in a seat at a Broadway theater. I'll send y'all tickets if I need to. Like, that is so important.
And it is so important that you're there. To me, it is. I really wanted to do it as a family. Like, it's really important to do it as a family to me.
What?
Because that is like our love. Our first love is that. So I want to be the 4 of us in seats together. I get it,
and the sentiment is sweet. But who knows when we'll all be there together. Like, you'll be there. And she loves theater.
Well, and so Eric was supposed to be with us. And you're going to Spain.
Yes. I'm going to go.
Is that where they run with the Bulls?
Yep, Madrid.
We be in Madrid?
I will not be in Madrid.
Barcelona?
I hope to visit Madrid. I won't be in Barcelona. I'll be right next to San Sebastian in a town called Bilbao, shooting a movie. And of course, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there. So they're going to just shoot right over Thanksgiving holiday, which
is an awesome opportunity, though.
Well, absolutely. It's definitely bucket list. But I will miss the New York trip with the kids.
Oh, my God.
And
it's
really
like my
think
favorite trip in the world, too.
You should still go to see a Broadway show with our kids.
Okay. I really feel like I'm getting back to my musical theater roots again, which I really love. Like, I've been listening in the car only to musicals.
What would you take them to if you did? Lion King?
No.
What?
Definitely, Elf, probably, because Elf's going to be coming out Thanksgiving. And I feel like they would love Elf.
Oh, they'd love Elf.
And I don't like Lion King.
It's not about you.
But it is.
It's the kids.
Because I'm paying for the ticket.
And they love Lion King.
I love seeing my friends in Lion King. I love the whole, but I think that's a very long show for a child to watch. Like, I think the child loves when the animals come out, but then other than that, it's a long show. For like a 3 and a 5-year-old, that is a long show.
Well, yeah. I mean, every show is like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So everything's going to feel long.
Not if you're seeing like a, jukeboxy, upbeat show.
But if you took them to like the first half of Lion King, they would never forget it. That was my first show ever. And
Imagine spending that kind of money on a first half of a show.
Let's go. I'll do it.
No, you can take them.
I
would love to take him to Elf. I feel like, and your brother, not debuted, but he originated Elf on Broadway.
Elf
so
on
that's
Broadway.
pretty cool.
I know.
So I would want to do something like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We'll see. You know, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are fighting at AT&T Stadium tonight, Friday night.
Oh my!
This has been the most hyped up.
Yeah,
talked about.
Today, Junior. Weren't they already going to do it? Didn't they reschedule?
They did have to. Yeah, it was rescheduled. It was supposed to be earlier this year. They rescheduled. It's happening tonight, and it is the biggest deal in boxing because Mike Tyson is arguably the greatest boxer of all time. Muhammad Ali, same, but they're in different divisions. So Mike Tyson was the top of the top. He's famous for.
Didn't you meet Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I have met. Yeah.
He talks like this.
But he got super famous for biting off Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yes.
In a match. But they're pound for pound, strongest boxer ever.
I could totally see biting somebody.
But now he's fighting Jake Paul, who we all know as obviously the YouTuber who's become a professional fighter. But it's, he's going to make more money than he's ever made in a fight. That's why he's doing it. But
his face is going to be knocked inside.
All of us are really he was one of our idols growing up. Mike Tyson redefined the sport. To see him go out this way, kind of, in this fight is going on record. So a lot of times they do this as exhibition, so it doesn't count towards your professional fight record. So if he dies, one day.
Oh, I was
his
I hope he doesn't
professional
die.
record, I think he has one loss ever. And if he gets a second loss on his record because he loses to Jake Paul, it's just such a degrading way to go out.
Oh, I don't think so. He's probably making more money for this fight than he's ever had. He's going to have way more exposure. In our generation, a lot of the people, Gen Z especially, only know him as the guy that talks like this.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be so good because I didn't even know him as a fighter. I mean, I knew him as a fighter,
you did.
But I knew him as from the voice and the ear.
And the face tat.
Yeah. So I feel like he's become such a caricature over just being a boxer. Muhammad Ali is that's all I know him as. Is that's a boxer. Mike Tyson is a character. And so that's what you really know more of him as.
He is a character.
It's the basketball player that wore the dresses.
But that's
what's his name?
Magic
Johnson.
No, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. So it's no matter how great you are, if you are a character in a sense, people know you more as that. Which I think is a brilliant PR move.
Yes, it's all for PR and it's all for money and it's all for that. But it's I don't know. Imagine Michael Jordan coming back and going against this high schooler that
he is his son. He's doing the exact same thing.
What?
Or not Michael Jordan, but LeBron James is doing the exact same thing. He's going
He
up
never
against
left. I'm telling you, the greatest of all time who left, came out of retirement for one moment to make somebody else look really good. It's just
Yeah, but I feel the fight's already orchestrated. They know exactly what they're going to do.
The only reason we know it's not is because it's going on record. So if this was an exhibition fight, 100% could be orchestrated.
Yeah, but I bet they have certain rules that they're playing.
Well, they're only
neither
allowed
of them
to
want to die.
They're only allowed to
do
do 2-minute rounds, not 3.
Okay, yeah.
Because Mike's
so I
older.
think I feel they're pretty good.
I just don't want to see him go down this way. It just hurts me. And I truly do think that Jake Paul, he's in the prime of his life. He is an incredible fighter. I'm worried for Mike Tyson, and I hate to say that.
Yeah, but I think there's something contractually already done.
Well, if it is, it's going to be in Jake Paul's favor because he's the one orchestrating all this.
So I feel there obviously is some kind of something going on.
I hope not.
Which is so interesting.
But it does kind of slightly kill me.
I'm sorry. Well, and today since it's Friday, is our Janie girl's birthday.
Yes.
The love of our lives, our little niece. And I stayed up all night with the kids. We did her Barbie car because that's what we're giving her for her birthday. Lulu, Jake, don't tell her. And I love that little girl so much.
She's a dream.
They become a parent is the best thing ever. But then coming an aunt and an uncle is so epic.
Well, and when you have your niece live a block from your house and you get to see her every day,
oh, and our nephews, it's the most fun. And now our little nephew, JR, he's about to be 2 in December. He's like a person now. So it's like when I see him, he knows who I am. Like it's so fun. And he's so freaking cute.
How do you feel about family coming over uninvited, showing up and being, just doing what family does, kind of coming in and
I love it.
Cool.
You and I would think it'd be opposite. I feel like we've taken turns. If you would have guessed, you would have saw it. I didn't like it, and you would love it. And now I feel like it's opposite. Now I love it, and I don't think you like it.
No, I do. I love it. I do. I think the open door policy and people showing up reminds me of the way I grew up.
Yeah.
And it's really, really
fun. But I
fun.
feel like you just go hide. Like, I feel like people come, then you just disappear.
Well, because the thing that...
So I really don't think you love it like I love it.
Well, no, because you have to make it clear that, like, just because they're there doesn't mean we can stop working or doing what we're supposed to be doing at that time anyway. So I'm like, love you. I'm going to finish what I was doing, and then I'll come visit.
Yeah.
Because if I stop it now, then you're just always going to expect me to drop everything the minute you get there. And you just can't.
Well, I always drop everything for family.
I do too. But, if you're in the middle of a 1 p.m. on a work day, like...
I know, but it is so weird because I think I would have thought myself I'd be exact opposite.
You used to be.
1,000. So I don't know. I think having kids, there's something I love about...
You wouldn't even want people calling you, let alone showing up to your house.
Well, I still don't want people calling me. Just text me. But still, like, I love it. What? What do you
It's
say?
just so funny because there are so many people that it's like, don't want to pick up the phone, don't want to talk on the phone.
No, I see your call. Like, everybody that really knows me knows I see your call. I just will not answer it. Text me.
I was just told that I am the last person on earth who leaves voicemails. Am I?
Yeah, I don't ever leave a
People
voicemail.
laugh because they're like, oh, I always know Eric will leave a voicemail.
Well, and...
As if it's like obscure to leave a voicemail.
Well, yeah, because you do like voice memo. Like,
well, no,
it's like,
or
hey,
they
I just
just
called
see
you.
like that you called, and so they'll call you back. But I'm like, well, no.
Well, that's even weirder because who actually like looks at their missed calls? Like, I don't really look at my missed calls. I'm just like, if they really need me, they'll find me.
But when did leaving a voicemail, being like, hey, it's Eric,
Actually, that's
call me
really
back.
true.
When did that become something nobody did?
I don't know because it's literally just you, Sissy, Big Dad, and my dad's butt dials that leave me voicemails.
I mean, I have more people say they save their voicemails for me because I'm the only one that leaves them.
I've saved
And I leave good voicemails.
You do, and yours are always sweet.
I like to leave them.
I know, you're so kind.
I can't believe that's a weird thing now, though.
I know, and that's so interesting.
Do you guys leave voicemails?
I really love doing this podcast with you, by the way. What?
I'm just kidding. I do too. It's been a lot of fun.
No, it has been a lot of fun. We've just really gotten our groove back. Maybe it's like y'all, don't you love? I already feel this. And all this is champagne and ice and like a grenadine. And I've had like barely any and I already feel it. That's when you know I'm not a drinker at all.
We got to talk about the Yellowstone premiere. Because...
Oh my gosh, the anticipated...
Part 2 of season 5 of Yellowstone has finally premiered. It's been 2 years.
I feel like it's been longer,
It was a
hasn't it?
2-year hiatus.
Yeah,
that's a long time. Long time. This has been anticipated for a very long time. If you haven't watched the season 5 part 2 premiere yet, shut this off. And
Don't shut it off. Just like go forward. We still need you to listen to the whole podcast.
Well, just come back to it after you've watched it.
Yeah.
But there will be some spoilers. What did you think?
Well, I didn't finish the episode.
You didn't finish it?
No.
Why?
But you can tell me what happens.
Because the kids came in and we can't ever finish anything.
No. And it's like so hard. Like Yellowstone, I think a lot of people that feel this way, like big series like that, a lot of it was during COVID when you got hooked when we had time.
Yeah.
I feel like now I don't have time to finish anything.
Well, I was nervous because it's like 2 years. So people lose interest. They're like, oh, moving on with my life. Like the show's not coming back. And then it does. And I was like, man, I wonder if they're going to get a good turnout because it's been so long.
Was it highest?
Do people even care anymore? Well, 16.4 million people cared.
Jesus almighty.
Biggest premiere of any Yellowstone episode ever. And they keep saying that over and over because they keep topping themselves. Like, that is a lot of people watching this.
That is insane.
Yeah.
How many people voted in the election?
Probably 16.4 million.
I mean, that is freaking nuts.
I know. It's a lot of people. But the anticipation of 2 years was huge. But really, I think what it came down to
is seeing what they did to Kevin.
because everyone knew John Dutton wasn't coming back. Kevin
Yeah.
Costner's role, he wasn't coming back. And they advertised him in the commercials for the season. So everyone's like, well, how are they going to do this?
Yeah, maybe flashbacks.
Maybe he
or-
is going to be in it. And they reveal right away in the premiere that he died.
Yeah.
And they made it.
I still kind of secretly thought that he was like going to come back for one episode and like
know.
trick everybody.
That would have been amazing. But
Maybe he still could because Horizon didn't work out so well.
But it's staged. It's a staged suicide. And he's in his pajama pants in the bathroom, and everyone's like, well, we all know if he was going to actually commit suicide, like the man would have at least been in his cowboy boots.
1,000. And he would have been like fully suited up.
Yeah. So it's clear. And Beth knows right away. She's like, I just know it's Jamie. Like, there's no way he killed himself. It had to be Jamie, which it was indirectly because it was Jamie's girlfriend.
Who's our girl?
Played by Dawn Olivieri.
Who's one of the coolest, kindest people on this earth.
She plays Sarah Atwood. And little spoiler alert, she says, just wait till next episode. So this Sunday, she's got some crazy stuff about to happen. But yeah, she's the evil girlfriend of Jamie.
Oh, she's so... I'll
and
never...
she pulled off this murder.
Ever forget going to the premiere of 1883 in Vegas and her in 1883. I'll never in my life.
She's unrecognizable.
And unbelievable. Like, I just remember sitting next to you being like, who is this? Like, where did she come from? She's the best actress I've ever been around. Where did she come from?
She played, for those of you who don't know, she played Faith Hill's sister in 1883, the one that commits suicide. She's in like the first couple episodes.
And she's like a hottie in real life.
And she's so memorable.
No, I think she's in the first episode.
No, first two, for sure.
Okay.
And was so memorable, but Taylor was like, you're the only one off the show I can put on Yellowstone because nobody will recognize you.
No one.
And now she's got
she's
so
like the
many
hottie.
things coming up with that universe. I can't get into it, but she is, you will see a lot of Dawn coming up.
Well, I can't wait because the woman is so talented and she does so much good for the world.
Oh my gosh.
Like
and her
saving
horse charities. Yeah.
And she's amazing.
Do you
She
know
deserves
Kevin Costner had no idea that the show was even premiering on Sunday?
Oh, bullshit.
He said, I didn't even know it was premiering. And he definitely didn't know how they were writing him off because he was like, I've been seeing the commercials and I'm in them. He's like, so I don't know how they're going to pull this off.
I just don't like that. That whole thing, I think, and I'm going to be controversial, and as an audience member, that is so much a part of my identity of Kevin. Like, obviously, I knew Kevin Costner as a great actor, but like Yellowstone, especially Gen Z and young adults, like that is his pinnacle.
Of course.
And to just kind of like shade it like that, I just feel like that's like, or don't say anything like that. I just feel like that's very disrespectful. Minus if he casts you in anything, I'd love him more than anything. But I just don't like sometimes, but I feel like maybe media twisted. I'm hoping they twisted his words when he said something like that because I'm like, I know you have to love that cast. I mean, anybody that works with Jen Landon is the luckiest human in the world because that woman is the kindest. So I just wouldn't see him acting. I don't know. That's just so weird to me when people do that.
I don't know. I can't speak on it. That was what was quoted from him. You know, I didn't even know how they were going to do it. It almost seemed like I didn't even care, you know, which is sad. But ultimately, you know, he wanted to make his movies Horizon, which he invested his own money into, which was like his passion project. And that ultimately was the reason that there were scheduling conflicts, and then ultimately was the reason that he didn't go on with Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And it's really tough. I loved the episode. Everybody's work is beautiful. Christine, oh my gosh.
The director.
Christine Voros, who directed the episode, who's a dear friend who worked on us with 1883, killed it. She's so talented.
And talk about the pressure from the cast and Taylor and Christina and just of coming back, especially if it's like the Super Bowl coming back.
I know.
And just knowing all eyes. It's like you're going to the Super Bowl minus, the only, like Troy Aikman not being there. Like everybody's like America's player. You know what I mean? And knowing you have to come back after 2 years without like America's player.
I felt there was an emptiness. Like it was hard just without John Dutton, who's been the glue for so long, it's going to take some adjusting, I think, to get used to this show without him.
Totally.
Because now we have to now, we subconsciously do this when we watch shows. It's like, all right, who's the leader of this show?
Yeah,
who's
or
the
who we
one we're
attach
rooting
ourselves
for?
to,
Like
yeah.
the one holding this whole thing together just got axed. So now it's like I'm scrambling to hold on to somebody, to hold on, you know what I mean?
But I feel like every series is like that. You just never, like, if they kill off somebody, you're like, how are you ever going to fall in love with anybody else?
Yeah.
And somehow we always do.
Yes.
But it takes a second.
It does.
But I do feel like that happens too. That you're like, oh, I'm never going to love somebody like I loved that character.
Yeah.
Taylor's so freaking smart.
Oh, I know. I mean, he's got it all figured out.
He always figures out a way to make, like, when I think, I'm like, oh, there's no way there's going to be a show as good as 1883. And then, like, 1923 is, like, unbelievable. And then, like, I think Landman's going to be insane. Like, I just think he's a smart cookie, that man.
He's got it figured out. I'm just like, I can't believe I'm watching this without John Dutton, but I can't wait to see how it all forms together. And continues
I'm going to be very interested. I really think it's going to go a lot more like crimey, like a lot of like murder. I think it's going to go more that route where it's kind of like we never left the ranch the first couple seasons. And now it's like we're making it into town more. We're making it like in the government buildings. Like I think it's slowly morphing into that.
We'll see. I'm very excited about this next episode on Sunday. Speaking of crimey.
Give it to me, baby. You're speaking my love language.
There was a cold case murder from 5 decades ago, 1974, that was just solved.
What case?
Okay, his name is John Keith Miller, and he brutally stabbed to death a hitchhiker on the side of the road in the 70s.
A young girl, wasn't it?
A young girl,
I know all about this murder.
And wow.
Thanks to Annie Elise.
So he picked her up. Apparently she was hitchhiking, and he picked her up, and he was trying to get her to do sexual acts to him, and she didn't want to. And so he started stabbing her to death. He goes to try to hide her body in a snowbank. A car comes by. He freaks out and flees and leaves a hat. And his hat had 2 strands of hair in it. And they were finally able to pull the DNA from that hat and match it back to a family member of his, to his daughter.
Yeah.
And then found, found out it was him through the daughter's DNA.
And wasn't he married, like, with kids? Like, that's, like, all he had done.
Yes.
Or, like, married and, like, a normal guy.
Yeah, he's been living in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's
oh, my
84
God.
years old. And finally, justice was served on this cold case murder.
Because didn't they say, too, I thought they closed it, too, and they said that she had, like, got hit by a car or something, and...
No, they actually, the number one suspect for it was another murderer who was a former NFL player that had done this string of murders.
Okay. I just remember, if you don't listen, I got to plug her, is my Annie Elise and Seriously 10 to Life. I just like get giddy every time I listen to a good murder.
But I mean, like, how cool is that? I hope every killer out there who's gotten away from something for a long time is shaking in their boots because of what we can uncover now.
John Bonet.
But then I think
still
about
can't get over her.
Yeah, don't even get me started. It's so unbelievable. But as the killer who's been living with this since 1974, what a relief, probably, to finally be caught and admit it. Because when they first showed up, he denied it.
Yeah.
Until they told him the DNA evidence. He's like, oh, well, yeah, if you got that, then might as well. Confess to everything.
Don't you think sometimes, though, they're true, like, sociopaths?
Well,
so sometimes
absolutely.
I really believe that they just like, cancel it out. And they say sometimes, too, I know with, like, the murders that I listen to, like, a psychotic break. Like, when people have a psychotic break, sometimes they don't have any recollection of what happened.
Yeah, that's a thing. So
sometimes you just, like, wonder if, like, I remember one of the murders I listened to, the guy said that he truly convinced himself it was somebody else. Like, it wasn't even him.
Wow.
Our mind is such a powerful game.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it just, but he admitted to it also. It wasn't like he completely blocked it out because he could have stood his ground and been like, no, and they could have been, well, I have evidence, and be like,
he probably didn't want to do like a whole big trial and all that. He's probably like, whatever.
That's what I'm thinking.
Me.
I'm thinking it's finally this relief of like, Yes, I did. It's the first time I've gotten to say that ever in my life, and I'm gonna now live with the consequences of it. But I can't believe I can finally whew.
That is so insane.
Isn't that wild?
I can't even imagine.
I
It's so
know.
weird.
I know.
People are so weird.
I know. It's kind of
Just
crazy.
to murder somebody. I actually can't even, you know how
Don't hitchhike. Not a good idea to hitchhike.
No, or like
But it
even
was
walk
the
by
70s,
yourself
so everybody
anymore.
was doing that.
Yeah.
But
I can't even imagine, like, there's this thing called intrusive thoughts. We've talked about this.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a
like
lot
my
of
plane's going down.
yeah, and a lot of moms will have it like if their kids are in the car being like, what if I just like drove off the bridge right now? It's like a big thing, especially with moms. And I don't even, in my intrusive thoughts, I don't even murder people.
Oh my gosh. No.
Like I can't even imagine the thought of being like, oh, I just want to go to town and stab them. Like I've done the point where I'm like, oh, I just want to slap them.
Yeah.
Like I imagine more like slapping somebody. Like what if I just went, but like to like get a knife and like murder some. That is so insane to me. And like keep going. Like it's not like one little, like to stab somebody, you are committed to that murder.
But I have thought about like if somebody did something to like my kids or to you, like I could go there. You know what I mean? Like I've had those thoughts
or
of being like
I would like
I could 100%
yes.
kill somebody if they killed one of my people.
But I have to shoot them. I couldn't like stab somebody. Stabbing somebody is a different level.
That's torture.
That is torture.
That is torture.
Or strangle. They say it takes like a good 2 minutes to strangle somebody. How's my hand? You just looked at my hand. Oh, my scratch.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus.
You what?
I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, from when he was nailed on a cross?
Oh my God.
Sainty. That joke will always be too soon. I'm sorry.
I didn't even mean it like that. It's just like, it's literally in the exact same spot.
It does look like you were nailed.
Can we talk about what happened to me? Like before my meeting though? Okay, y'all. So I get out of the shower.
That's good stuff though.
That was unbelievable.
I'm happy about that.
I get out of the shower and there's blood all over my towel. Like all over it. And as a girl, obviously, you're like, am I on my little lady? And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh my God, gross. I used a dirty towel from Eric. And so I'm like, oh, that is so gross. Like, I cannot believe I just put my hair up with a blooded towel from Eric. And so I like keep going. And then I see blood on the floor and I'm like, oh my God, he must have like really done something. Cause I'm not in pain like at all. And so I look in the mirror, there's nothing on me at all. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I have like a little vanity. I'm sitting at the chair, get myself fully ready. I stand up. The back of my vanity chair is covered in blood. And I'm like, you're like, get to the point, Sainty. I look around. So I'm looking like on my left side. Sorry. I look on my right side.
Good stuff.
I'm so sorry. And
Your
like my back is
bleeding.
covered in blood.
Yes. You scratched your back.
I know. Now my mom's worried that I have another melanoma. Because like I didn't scratch my back. There's no way. I can't reach that spot. And I was in the shower.
Honey, anything. You scratch a mole off your back or you scratch a pimple. And
Honey,
sometimes
did you
they bleed.
see how much blood? There was blood
it happened.
everywhere.
So you scratched your back. You don't just bleed out of nowhere. Don't worry about it.
I know.
We got it all cleaned up. You're good.
I know. Michelle Marlowe said I should go get checked too.
Do you want to hear something crazy?
Tell me. Target? Is this the Target thing you were wanting to tell me?
No, that was false. I did read something online that said Target was now opening bars in Target and coming out with a margarita. And I was like, wow, I will lose my wife forever. They have margaritas and at Target.
And Starbucks.
But I think it was fake. It was all over online, but I didn't get any proof of it. Do you remember back in the day, every time you would log on to your desktop computer and you opened up your mail.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. His name was Elwood Edwards,
Ooh.
the man who said, you've got mail. He just died at 74, a day before his 75th birthday.
That's young nowadays.
But the dude recorded You've Got Mail in 1989 for AOL.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what AOL stands for?
Assisted online. AOL. Assisted online luxuries?
No, American Online.
Wow. I'm
You never knew that?
No.
Oh, wow. Anyway.
But why? It'd be AO.
It's AOL. Because in 89, that's just the way they wanted to do it.
Yeah, that would be America
It's American Online.
line. but not online.
So he recorded the voice for You've Got Mail. And guess how much this man made off of
$100.
that? $200.
I knew it because we know this.
35 million people a day were listening to that voice.
It's Siri. Remember, she just recorded like a bunch of syllables, like one session, and that was it.
$200.
I know.
And was that famous and was on everybody's computers and everything. That poor man got gypped. But
that was Siri. It's like you never really know anything
and there was
what
like,
it's for.
It was so big and so popular. Movies were created off You Got Mail. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan.
You Got Mail.
Yes. But like that's how iconic that guy's sentence was. And he got zero. $200.
Yeah.
Could you?
What was his? Was he a voiceover actor?
No. He works for like a local Cleveland news station doing like graphic designing.
Why is everything in Cleveland? You know, A Christmas Story is based out of Cleveland, the Cleveland Clinic. There is so much. I came out of Cleveland.
But speaking of A Christmas Story, this story reminded me of how often that happens where it's like, you know, you do this job for like no money and it becomes huge and you feel so taken advantage of and they don't really come good on you know what I mean? Like on...
Well, unless you have like back-end points and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and most of the time people don't.
That's happened so many times, and A Christmas Story is one of them.
Most of the cast still works in Cleveland.
I was reading the lead cast members of A Christmas Story, number one Christmas movie ever, make $1,800 every 2 years.
That's crazy.
Off of the most successful Christmas movie ever.
Wasn't it like what's that horror one that we always talk about?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal, but then they got like a good end of the deal now.
No, they didn't. Blair Witch Project did.
No, Paranormal Activity because they got Paranormal Activity 2. That's when they renewed
but
all
it's not all the same cast.
Yeah, it is.
No.
1 and 2 is. I don't think they changed the cast until like number 3 or 4.
Okay, maybe not, but like got no money off of number 1, which was the most successful horror
and I
thing
think it was just the girl because one of the actors, I thought it was their actual
for Paranormal
project.
Activity. They got $500 each, and the movie went on to make $194.2 million. The production budget of that movie was $15,000.
That is nuts.
And it was acquired for $350,000 by Paramount, and then created into Paranormal Activity. But they got $500 as actors for that movie.
And I really did. I said something not nice to you the other day because it is hard for me sometimes when you miss out on these like super core memories for something that's like considered a low budget film. And most of the time I never get to see anything you ever do. So it's so hard for me, but it's like, it's always for like this reason. Like it maybe just that one time.
Well, yeah,
that
you've got to do a pilot and hopefully it gets picked up. Most of the time they don't. But when they do, that's what we're all fighting for.
Yeah, but a pilot's very different.
It's the same concept.
Not really.
Yeah. You do a bunch of films hoping that one's going to blow up.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, even booking a pilot's a lot bigger than like
and
a lot
I can't tell you
films.
how many indie films I've done that have led to so much more work and that have led to relationships and exposure.
Oh my gosh,
and
yes.
You can't, it's like invaluable.
But it is hard though when it's like holidays and things like that. That's where it's harder for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought that was crazy. Did you see? So, are you excited to see Wicked?
Eric, beyond. I'm literally singing it this Saturday or Sunday, and then I'm singing it again.
So it's so
already.
big. Mattel has already come out with dolls. They have a Glinda doll.
I know. I own them.
Alpha
I
Ball.
got it for the kids for the airplane ride.
Did you
to New
really?
York. Yeah. They're literally in my the porn.
When did you buy it?
2 weeks ago. So I bet it's on there.
Check the box. That's crazy. Check the box because Mattel made a mistake and printed a porn website on every Glinda and Alphaba box that they're selling at Target and Amazon and Kohl's. And it
Eric,
said,
mine definitely is because I
check, because it's now worth something. Wicked.com.
I have Alphabet and Glinda because I was going to give it to Momo and Janie.
We have to
on
look
the
when we
airplane.
get home. They printed, Mattel made this mistake. They put Wicked.com on all the boxes, and Wicked.com is what do they call it?
But like,
it's a parody porn website.
okay, and
They do
how
parody
come?
porn.
I'm
They
sorry.
meant to put wickedmovie.com.
Yeah, but I'm so sorry. Wicked, the movie, has more money I've ever seen. I thought Barbie spent a lot of money. Wicked's taken it to a different stratosphere. Like, couldn't they have bought them out? Like, to be honest.
Wicked.com?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, but
I mean,
the problem
that's kind of
is
insane.
all these kids across the country were getting these boxes and going to wicked.com and seeing a porn website.
That is so wild.
Huge no-no.
I mean,
Huge
that's
mistake.
a bad mistake.
Whoever did that at Mattel, whoo! But if we have that,
I think we do. Because I literally have both Barbies because I was giving it to Janie and Momo on the airplane to New York.
well, don't give it to Janie if it says wicked.com on it.
Well, I'll just reorder them. I'll just save those two and then.
That's so
Can you
crazy.
imagine Jake and Emily calling me and being like, Sainty, Janie looked on the back of her box and she went to a parody porn site. What are you doing?
I thought that was insanely funny. And they're asking people to send them back if they'd already bought them.
Yeah, right.
I know.
And one, like, I'm sorry, who's actually going on the website too? That is, for me, that's the first question I would ask, being like, who looks on the back of a box and goes on a website?
I mean, I agree, but when millions of people are buying them, there's going to be a handful of people that look at the website.
Well, and I guess if it's like an older person, maybe seeing if like you could buy more.
Yeah, anything.
Because I did look to see if they had a boy one. Because I wanted to get like Mick, Fiera, all of them for the airplane ride. I just gave Mick Subway, like little Subway cars.
And you got a parody porn instead.
And I got some parody porn, baby.
Last thing, did you hear about Costco having to recall 80,000 pounds of butter? Their Kirkland brand.
No, this is why I don't do Costco. I swear, God really does. I'm going to knock on wood. God blesses me because all these people that are always like, go to Costco, go to all the, and I never do, or I never eat that
Costco's
meat, like the fish or all that. And look, I always never get sick. Watch, I'm going to die.
Let me finish a dang word of what I was going to say about this.
What?
Costco's phenomenal. They're recalling the butter because they didn't print that it contains milk. And so all of these people complained that, oh, well, I have an allergy and it doesn't list milk, when everyone else is like, it's butter. Of course there's milk in it. Like,
no shish, Sherlock.
So they're making them recall and take off 80,000 pounds because people are too dumb to know that there's milk in butter.
Well, and you always get, it says huge on the thing, plant-based butter. Then you could have that one because it's plant-based, right?
So Costco's still amazing. They just, because of some of their clientele, don't know that there's milk in butter. They have to now pull it all off the shelves.
Did they never do those field trips as a kid? Like, didn't you go to Virginia or any of those field trips and then you watch them hand turn the butter?
No, but we all just know that there's milk
You
in
never did
butter.
like the trips like with the log cabins and
no,
where they
I went
show
to
you
performing arts school. We went to like Broadway shows and stuff.
It's actually kind of sad because like we would see like where they blow glass, like everything how they used to do back in the olden days.
Very cool.
You didn't do that as like a little kid? Like,
no, but I watched movies where I learned about that.
I feel like that's like the classic kid field trip.
Yeah.
Is to go and they all dress up and they all take their job seriously. It's like every...
Oh, I know. It's like the reenactors.
It's like, there's nothing better.
They're living for it. But yeah, no, there's milk and butter, folks. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, beware. This went by really fast.
I know. This was a good day, even though I wasn't feeling my best.
Oh, God.
What's your glamour and grit?
Why aren't you feeling your best? Oh, yeah.
Because I'm hungover.
I
rallied with your brothers last night, okay? It was worth it.
And my brothers are huge.
And so I don't drink a lot these days.
No.
And I held my own.
I know you did. I knew you did the moment that you slept in our son's bedroom. I was like, oh,
well, also there was no room.
I know.
What's your glam? What's your grit? Real quick.
Okay, my glam is my stockings with bauble stockings came out at Neiman's. So you can find my collection of needlepoint stockings, which is fair trade wages in Haiti, which is huge. And it's actually really cool because I know with our Neiman's deal alone, a all-girls school in Haiti is able to stay open again for the next 3 years. And it just does a lot of good. So go buy them. And my grit is, Eric, I might not have a grit right now.
That's because you've had an entire glass of champagne since we started recording.
I know. I really don't have a grit right now.
That's what bubbles can do. Grit is feeling sluggish today. Glam is getting to see Mike Tyson box tonight. Bam.
Bam. And tune in on Monday. Our guest is magical, amazing. I'm obsessed with her. See you Monday.
Bye, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe.
Glamour. Grit. Glamour. Grit.